Love of truth here. I wanted to say something about people and how when they're disrespectful and they try to come back and say sorry, understand that when someone's disrespectful over and over and over and over again, and then says they're sorry over and over and over again, it's not going to get any better. And the thing is, the person will change on their own, but it's not going to be quick. It's not most likely going to be with you, and to try to force it is never a good thing. So I just want to put that out there. There are people that will continue to push your buttons. And I guess my cat agrees. Okay, I just got him out of here. But it's... I just want to share this with you guys because there might be someone that needs to hear this. We're all learning. We're all on our own journey of learning things here. So the thing is that the more that you accept that from somebody, like if they disrespect you and then they keep saying sorry and you keep accepting it, they're going to learn that that is okay. Or as far as they went the last time in disrespecting you, they're going to think that they can do that again and maybe even push it further. And a lot of the times, toxic people, if you want to call them narcissists, or I mean, there's many different types here. I don't want to get into the names necessarily, but we'll just say toxic people in general are going to try to push your buttons and see how far they can go, almost like a child. So, you definitely don't want to be dealing with something like that. Obviously, if it's detrimental to you, it's going to be detrimental no matter what level of disrespect there is. Because again, like I said, once they push you so far, they're going to try to push you further, further and further, and see what your limits are. And sometimes it's sad, but some people don't have limits. They don't have boundaries. They don't put a line in the sand, so to say. And so these abusive, manipulative, toxic people will try to push you and push you, and finding out that you don't have a boundary set there, it's like free range for them, and that's how they're feeling. Like they can just say whatever, do whatever, and think next time it can magically go back to the way it was. And there's more involved in this. There's trauma bonds. I'm not, okay, I just want to say, like, everybody, I'm not a licensed professional. I don't pose to be a professional. If I know something, I'm going to speak on it. If I've experienced it and I know others could suffer from it, I'm going to help them. And that's basically what this is. I just want to help. I just want to let people know and make them aware of what's going on. And there's plenty of other people that do this that aren't licensed professionals. So disclaimer there. And there's abusive people that will try to make you feel a certain way about yourself as well. If you continue to allow them to push your buttons and to provoke you and, put you in situations where you just don't even understand how you got there. Like they'll bring out a side of you that you normally don't bring out because there's really no need to bring it out because it's a negative side of you. Like they'll bring out the worst in you. They will try to make it seem as though these are the most manipulative ones, the ones that are a little bit clever, and just because they're clever it doesn't mean they're good. It just means that it doesn't even necessarily mean that they're highly intelligent. I think it's just more so they know what works, what doesn't. They're clever, they're slick, they're sly, but it doesn't necessarily mean that they're like you know, more intelligent than you, okay? But they try to get one over on you. And what this is actually it's a weakness, because when they're trying to get over on you, they're manipulating your emotions. So, in order to, I think the most intelligent person would consider someone else's feelings at least a bit, you know. But when you totally X out people's feelings, I think that's a little stupid, if that makes sense, or dumb, because if you are intelligent, you realize that that is a part of us as human beings, and this is how we harmonize, this is how we cooperate, this is how things tend to work well with one another, right? And we don't feel like crap. We don't end up feeling like, lower, or, and again, their self-esteem is very low. So then they try to bring your self-esteem down, and you might wonder, what the heck? Why am I feeling this way? I'm not usually insecure, or I'm not usually not confident. And then you start to feel that way after a while, especially if it's been years, or even decades. I hate to say, some people have been with these toxic people for so long. And it's not just in romantic relationships, but it's in families too. It's friends, it's coworkers, it's just people on the street, even, can be like this. But it's important to let go of these people, because all they end up doing is bringing you down. And I want to get to another point though. They know what they do. They know how they're treating you in the moment, regardless of what they say. Because usually what they'll say is, oh, I didn't know how I was affecting you, or it's usually an I don't know, or I didn't know it was that bad, or I know and I'm sorry and I won't do it again. Again, the sorry thing. They know what they're doing, because if they had the audacity to say this, and couple it with all of the sweet talk, love bombing things that they say, because that's definitely true. What they'll do is, usually very manipulative people will have a very sweet side, or it appears to be a very sweet side to them. It's not actually genuine, it's just there to suck you in. And then they'll also have this other side that you see to them that's malicious, and you can't make out why is there such a black and white with them, or like they act like they love you one minute and they act like they hate you the next minute, or they snap on you out of nowhere. And this is because, again, the sweet side, so-called sweet side, is actually just to reel you in. It is to play on your vulnerabilities. It's to make you think what they're saying is entirely true. Even if they actually feel that about you, it's not in the forefront of their brain or their heart. Like, they don't prioritize you, no matter how much they might appear to. Again, they're going to put on this sweet like side, or this show to you, to make you think that they're caring, they're loving, they're giving, whatever, they're forgiving, they're we can go on and on about the positive traits that they want to appear to have, but it's not true. They're actually upset at you because you have these traits. Okay, I've been through this enough times to know. I don't mean to laugh, but it's just, it gets ridiculous after a while, where it's like you can just see clearly through these people. It's sick though, because they're taking advantage of innocent people and trying at least to damage their mental, emotional, and spiritual, and sometimes physical health, in all areas. It really affects all areas of your life. It could hinder you. It could make you depressed. Like, it could hinder you in so many ways. Like, I know I'm going all over the place, but I'm just kind of touching on all these things because I want people to get like an overview of what these people are like. They are like snakes, and it's also, it sucks because you don't want to believe that this person is this way, but they actually are. And they'll try to find ways to make you feel like, or question yourself, make you feel like it's you. And usually when those people will worry and be like, oh my gosh, am I the narcissist, or am I, the one not seeing the clear picture, or am I not being forgiving enough? Am I not being loving or understanding enough? No, you're being, most of the time, too loving, too understanding, too caring to those that are just going to use and abuse you and discard you and not even care about how you feel in the end. So, like, especially when you're more vulnerable and you show that vulnerable side to this toxic person, they're going to use that against you. And, or they, this is and sometimes, or it's an or, it's hard to explain, but they will also sometimes, like, they'll ignore you, but they'll sometimes just treat you like crap. They'll do many different things. They'll manipulate you further. Again, they'll flip it on you. Like, try to make you feel like it's your fault. And the thing is, too, is, okay, they'll provoke all of these things out of you. Like I said, they're going to try to make you feel like you're the bad guy. So they provoke and provoke and provoke. They poke the bear, so to say. They continuously poke the bear. They continuously mess with you over and over and over, whatever that may be, right? If you keep poking a bear, what do you think's going to happen? If you keep messing with somebody, you can have all the patience in the world, but does that person deserve to sit there and deal with that? No. Is it okay to lash out on someone in response? No. But does it make sense? Yes, it makes sense. Yes, you're valid for what you do. You're valid for feeling. I should say not what you do, but how you feel. Like, when someone's provoking you, okay, I don't condone violence. I don't think that it's a good idea. Obviously, it's not. But they try to get that out of you as well. They'll try to get you to yell at them. They'll try to get you to, like, hurt them in some sort of way so that they can flip it onto you. And I'm not saying we shouldn't be responsible for what we do. Yes, we should take responsibility. If it's not good, it's not good. If you're lashing back out at them, screaming, it's not good for you, most importantly. And if this person's doing it to you, it's all I'm trying to say is that it's understandable, and I can understand the feeling. So know that your feelings are very valid, and this is why a lot of people end up feeling really bad after, is because they don't get their feelings validated, especially by these people. They will make you feel as though your feelings are insignificant, or they're wrong. You're acting like you need too much, or they might even say something to the effect of, I'm not enough for you. You don't think I'm enough. And you're like, wait, this isn't the case. None of this is the case. What are you saying? And you realize that over and over, if this keeps happening, it's like, okay, so you just keep telling me constantly, things that aren't true about me, that it's not good enough, or, trying to tell me that my feelings aren't valid in so many ways, like, oh, you always make it about you. They'll say things like that to you. And you look at yourself and you reflect. Usually people like this, like, that have this abuse, constantly reflect on themselves because of the abuse, because of the guilt trips, because of all that guilt put on you, you're going to automatically constantly look at what you've done. And you're going to check it over and over. And sometimes it's going to be too much. Most of the time, it ends up being way too much. Where you keep checking yourself to a point of almost going insane. But then you finally realize that, wait, I'm checking myself all the time, yet what are you doing? What is the other person doing? Is the other person looking at themselves? And if that's not true, then, and the other person is continuously looking at themselves and saying, hey, you know what? There's nothing here. I'm just pointing out what you need to fix here. I'm trying to help you, right? And the toxic person's always going to reflect that back to you or project what they even feel onto you, but they're going to definitely reflect what you're feeling about them back onto you. Anything that you say to them, they're going to try to reflect back to you. Okay? So it's almost like a mirror or a mirroring effect. Sorry, I keep moving it, but the phone's getting a little hot here. But I just want people to be aware that these types of situations, especially narcissistic situations, they will do everything they possibly can to hide who they are from you, to keep that mask up as long as they possibly can, okay? They don't really truly care about you. They don't really truly love you, no matter what they say, because their actions are showing you different. If their actions are showing you different, you have to pay attention to the actions. No matter how much it hurts, it's going to hurt like hell. Because what hurts the most is the illusion breaking down. Realizing that it was an illusion. You were in love with the illusion of them, not the real them. Or if it's a family member you loved, or if it was a friend, you cared about this person so much. But now knowing that, wait a second, you have these inklings, these things, your intuition speaking to you all the time. And that's what happened to me for so long, where I wouldn't listen to it. I was like, yeah, but like, I see the good in people and I just want to hope for the best. And that can become toxic. Your hope can actually become toxic in somebody that is showing you completely the opposite of what you're hoping for. And I don't think that hope in itself is toxic, because it's needed in certain situations at times. But it is very toxic if you're a very vulnerable, loving, empathetic person and you're easily, how do I say this? I don't want to say you're easily manipulated, but fooled in a way. And don't feel bad about it, but because you have a big heart. Hold on a second. Okay. I lost my train of thought, but that's okay. Maybe I should just end it here, but I just wanted to say that don't get fooled by these people, even though you're going to get fooled. Actually, no, I think I am going to continue a little bit more. The way not to get fooled is to, not hate to say this, but if you separate your emotion from the person or the situation, learn detachment. Learn how to detach emotionally. Maybe you can look it up. And the thing that what helped me was to see it from the outside looking in. And I'm naturally like this, and I think it's because I've went through this so many times with people that now I just naturally see this from the outside looking in type of effect, where you're objective instead of being subjective, instead of only looking through your own eyes. Pretend you're looking at yourself, or you're talking to yourself as another person, looking at the relationship as though you're another person. I know it's not always easy, but you have to detach from your personal emotions, and it might take a continuous amount of times to do this, to train yourself to do this, because I feel that's the only way that you can recognize what's actually going on and to listen to your intuition. But I feel like your intuition has been tampered with, and that's why you need to detach from the emotions. And here I'm going to explain why the emotions are so important to detach from with these types of toxic people. It's because they use your emotions to manipulate you. Okay. They know you're an empathetic person. They know you're caring. They know you're loving. They know that you do anything for them. And they will even tell you lies, or add on to the truth. Maybe it doesn't really matter what's true or not really to them. I think even if something is a little bit true, they still exaggerate. They're still over the top with what they do. They're not 100% with you. So it doesn't really matter if it's like, well, maybe they love me a little bit. And it's like, yeah, but does that really matter all in all? If they were abusive or coercive and manipulative and tried to make you do certain things by, framing the situation, there are many terms for these things, like word salad, or trying to think of other ones. They'll use triangulation, which is like with other people involved. They'll use flying monkeys, which are their like little minions, people that just listen to them and gossip for them and to them about you. They're going to definitely gossip about you. But the thing is to remember that none of that matters, because if that's not the truth, all they're doing is spreading rumors. And I know it hurts, because it's like, well, it's not true about me, and now they're spreading rumors about me and people are believing it. And it's like, the thing is too, if people are believing it, they're weak, because they have to figure out who you are for themselves. So I always say that too, like, figure out who people are for yourself, but maybe take into consideration what other people are saying about this person. But I wouldn't necessarily adopt it as the truth yet. You kind of have to take information sometimes and weigh it out for yourself in the end, not just believe what other people are saying about someone else. But anyway, that doesn't matter though if they don't know that, or if no one, believes you, but they believe the narcissist or the toxic person. Let them believe whatever they want to believe, because you don't want people like that in your life anyway. They're not going to help you grow. They're only going to stagnate you, and they're going to make you feel heavy. They're going to make you feel weighed down, not comfortable, not confident. Like, there's going to be so many negative feelings. You're going to feel trapped. You're going to feel like you can't move on in life. You can't get anywhere in life. There's so many things that these people like to create. They just like to create chaos in your life. Some of them, you can tell on their face that they enjoy hurting you. Others, they have a way of concealing it. But if you are very trained in this, if you have been through this over and over and over again, you can see it even in the covert people, even in the ones that are trying to hide it. So covert narcissist is one that you can't, no, like, normally people can't tell if those ones are narcissists, the covert ones. But a overt narcissist is someone that you can obviously tell is abusive and narcissistic and manipulative and all these things. So, and usually they appear egotistical and full of themselves. But the covert ones, I like talking about them more because they're harder to detect, and we have to let each other know, right? We have to inform each other about them and how to detect these things. And a lot of the time, they're gonna, okay, the main thing that they're gonna do is they're gonna use your own judgment against you. So you're gonna say, well, I know you did this, I saw it. They're gonna gaslight you. That's called gaslighting, when they tell you, no, you didn't, or that's not what happened, or I didn't know that I did that. Oh, I didn't know I said that. Oh my gosh, really? I said that? Oh, I'm sorry. And it's like, no, you know what you said. And I'm not saying that everyone, because sometimes, you know, people have toxic traits, and sometimes that happens where you don't realize you said something, and that's more of a genuine thing. But you have to look at the person's overall character. You can't just pick out one thing and say, okay, they're narcissists. That's not healthy to do either. So you have to look at everything as a whole. Things they say, the way they look on their face, if certain things don't match up, if they're disrespecting you, if they keep disrespecting you, keep saying sorry, and they keep doing it, then you have a toxic person on your hands. And again, the best thing to do is to get rid of them. And again, I'm going to say this, it's not easy, but the best goal to have is to do that, to let them go, because them being in your life, and I didn't realize this for a long time, but I thought I was strong enough to push through it, and I don't even know what I was thinking, to be honest, because they manipulate your mind so much that you start having contradicting thoughts, and what is that called? Cognitive dissonance. You'll start, if you get into it really far with them, they will actually, no, this can happen in the beginning as well if you just met the person, but they will contradict a lot of things. But usually in the beginning, they're going to love bomb you and make you think that they're the most amazing, perfect thing on earth. And then, the abuse starts slowly. It's like a slow drip. Yeah. And so they're going to paint themselves to be like this wonderful person, and slowly but surely they're going to continuously say weird things or do weird things that you're like unsure about, uneasy about. You're going to sit there and contemplate in your head, what was this? Why was I triggered by this and this and this? And why did they say this? This is not okay. Or this doesn't seem right. You might have all these thoughts, and then you deny it. And definitely not a good thing to deny it, but it's understandable because of what they do to you. So again, they're going to paint this pretty, beautiful picture. You're not going to really find any faults at first. Maybe little things here and there, but then, and you will start, if you fell into this trap, you started to accept or forgive or explain away, allow them to explain away what certain toxic things that they did or said was. Like, oh, I just, I'm not going to give an example, but they could say, like, I said this thing because whatever. They'll just give a weird explanation. And so you're sitting in there in your head and you're like, yeah, but I know that this is like, they said this thing because the only thing it could mean is this. Like, and then you might brush it off because you're probably like, well, maybe I'm being too judgmental, or I'm taking this a little too far. So then you go on and you move on to the next thing, and then it happens again. They'll do, or they'll say something, that's questionable. And you'll be like, what was that? Why did you do that? Why did you say that? They can give another excuse, It's always excuse after excuse. Like, again, I didn't know. Oh, I didn't know. Or I didn't know that hurt you. Or, I mean, yeah, it's understandable to forgive something like that. But again, it's going to continue. It's going to just keep going and going and going. And it won't stop. And it's going to get worse too, because again, they're going to push you to see how far they can go with you. Like, what abuse will you take? How much will you take? And they don't care about the consequences. They don't care that you're crying. They don't care that you're hurt. They don't care about validating your feelings, because they feel empty inside and they're still stuck in their past. They're stuck with their trauma, and then they put it onto you. They project it all onto you. So that's why you end up feeling like crap in the end. And you wonder why, because you know yourself, you know that you're not that type of person to normally feel like crap. And you have a happy, healthy mental state of mind before you getting involved with these people. And it's very clear. Your mind is very clear. But then when you start getting involved with these people, it muddies the water for you, and you can't see anything, metaphorically. And what I mean by see anything, you can't see the red flags. Again, the red flags, the things that they do that are toxic, that you just let slide, are being let to slide, because again, it's the manipulation, it's the repetitiveness, it's the love bombing, the gaslighting. I mean, they use all of these tools. They think they're actual tools, but they're really not. But I would say they're tactics of manipulation. And they use all these things because they know that they can't control you. They want to control you, but they know they can't. So in some sort of sense, they do. They only control you, though, with your blindness. So if you knew what was going on, they wouldn't be able to control you. So they have to do it behind the scenes and manipulate. And again, they create this illusion. So again, you were only in love with the illusion. It wasn't them being real. It was a fake facade that you were attached to, that you didn't want to let go of because of what they showed you that they were, instead of not showing you with their actions, but pretending to show you in other actions, or in other, like they might give you all these gifts, and again, love bombing, like tell you that you're the most beautiful person they've ever seen, or we're destined to be together, we're soulmates, and I want to marry you, and I want to have a family with you. And it's like, if they say that, they just want to trap you. That's all it is. They want control over you. So, yeah, if they can't have control, it's not, quote, fun for them. And I hate to say the word fun, but that is really what it seems to be for them. And I know ultimately it's not fun for them to be in their shoes. It's pretty sad, actually, and I don't mean it as in sympathy, more like pity. Even that, I don't pity them. I don't really feel anything for them, people like this, because they don't deserve anything, because they try to take everything. They need to be starved of this attention, this, as they say, narcissistic supply, but I would call it mostly attention. You take your attention off of them, they're going to automatically go jump to the next person to try to get attention from them. And, it doesn't matter who it is, but they'll pick anyone and everyone. And it just shows you that, like, the quality of who they are. they they think very lowly of themselves because that's actually where they are. It's where they are in life, and they know who they are. It's just they don't want anyone else knowing. They don't want anyone else to see their games. But all in all, if you continue to focus on your intuition, yourself, and caring for yourself and putting yourself above all, you're going to eventually see it. A lot of the times it can happen without you even doing much at all. The truth will always come out. So whether you leave the person or they end up leaving you, it's like it comes to a point where it's seen and you can't unsee it, you know? This is getting a little long for me actually I don't know if I want to upload a 40-minute long video, but I do want to touch more on this, so maybe I'll just have another talk like this. And yeah, I really just want people to be aware of these people and their tactics and how dangerous it truly is to be in their presence and to get out of their presence as soon as possible. And I know everything in you is probably screaming, no, I want to try, I want to work this out, I love this person so much. But again, you're in love with an illusion, and that's the saddest part, that we end up finding out that the truth is it wasn't really the person, it was just the idea of them. So knowing that, hopefully, if you keep, looking at videos like this, learning about narcissism, learning especially about covert narcissism, because I think more and more there are covert narcissists more rampant because they know that people are catching on and they think they can hide behind their masks. But you have to be willing to look under the mask no matter what your feelings are for them, because again, it's not for them, it's for their mask. You have to look underneath that mask, and it's not pretty. It's very ugly, and it's completely different than what the mask looks like. But you'll definitely get glimpses of it, but the best thing to do is to face your fears and to look into it as much as possible. And once you leave them, don't look into anything. Don't give them attention. Don't even look at their pictures. Don't even look at past text messages, recordings, anything. I mean, if you want to learn something, that's understandable. But to be longing for them or giving them any sort of attention, even energetically, I would not suggest, because it's only bringing up that attachment again to them. And you have to understand that they weren't attached to you. They were only trying to use you, manipulate you for their own gain. So just stay diligent, stay aware, stay strong, okay? Never give up on yourself. And yourself is the most important thing. So don't give up on yourself and put yourself first. Don't put these people before you ever. I don't care what happens. Put yourself first. And I'm going to leave it there because I said I'm not going to go to 40, but we're almost there. So we're almost at 40 minutes. But thank you guys for listening. I will be back soon, and I hope everybody's doing well. All right, bye.